Hello, hello, hello. Welcome everybody to our first lesson in our training manual. If you have not done so already, this is an excellent time to go and get out your blank USG training manual. You should have received two training manuals. One is already filled out for your references. The second one is blank, so we can kind of teach and go over each portion with you guys. So take some time, if you have not already, to go gather those items. You can edit it on this PDF yourself, just kind of how I'm doing right now, or you can print it off and write it. Either way works best. Whatever works best for you is what works. So take that time right now to get yourself ready, and we will start diving into our culture, which is the first lesson at the USG training manual. So as we look here at the culture, we see fun, focused, follow schedule highlighted. These three are bolded because this is the main points that we think are the most beneficial for our culture. These stand out, and this is what we follow on a day-to-day basis. So let's start with fun. Fun is a way in which we keep each other engaged, we enjoy our job, things like that. I know all of us have at one point worked a job that we don't necessarily enjoy, and it feels like we're just kind of dragging our feet through each day. We do not want that here. This job is actually extremely fun and enjoyable, and there's a reason why a lot of us stick around here for multiple years, because we don't want to go back to the other grind, right? So we like to have fun at our job, and that's why this is the first one. There's a lot of ways that we have fun on a day-to-day basis. I'm going to kind of break down a few of them for you guys, but there's more than just 5 or 6 ways that we have fun on a day-to-day basis. These are just a few. If you're following along on your training manual, the filled out portion might look a little different than the one that I go over right now, and this is because there's many ways to have fun than just 6, okay? So let's start with the first one. Fun post in Voxer. I'm going to just write Voxer. Fun post in Voxer means posting silly things. I love to post photos in Voxer. That's one of my favorite things to do to kind of stay involved. These photos can be photos of your area, photos with clients, really cool roofs that you see, great solar systems, anything that kind of interests you while you're at your area. Post it. We love to see your experience and what you're kind of exposed to or around on that particular day. So fun post in Voxer. Sometimes we would do, during the holidays, we would do things like wearing our Santa hats and just kind of wearing fun little clothes and just kind of making the experience all around enjoyable. So ways we would implement fun in Voxer, that's the first one. 2, I have sharing a meal with clients. I'm going to actually extend this to just sharing meals. This can go to with each other, sharing meals. This can be with each other, this can be with clients, but it's important to kind of break bread and kind of hang out with each other. This can be during team meetings, this can be after. I used to love to take my team out to Applebee's, and we would have appetizers and have lunch kind of before we would head to our areas, and it was just a great experience all around. We would also do things like David Buster's. We would do things that were kind of just what we wanted to do outside of everyday work, right? So sharing meals with each other, with clients, hang out with each other, get to know each other. This job is extremely relationship based, whether that's with each other or clients. So it's important to kind of take time and remember we're here to build relationships with each other and the community. So slow down sometimes, enjoy each other's presence, and have fun with it, right? So sharing meals, always so fun. Number 3, competitions. Competitions. This one is a heated topic, I guess you could say, for our company. We love to be in competition with each other on a regular basis because this pushes us to hit our goals, right? If we see that one of our reps in another area is has 5 appointments today. We're like, oh my gosh, I need to push myself because I don't want to have just 2 appointments. I want to get those 5 appointments. So we love having competitions with each other. Typically when we do these competitions, there will be a reward or some type of bonus at the end of this, whether that's swag, whether that's cash, whether that's an event, whether that's a trip, right? Competitions are so much fun and it gets us fired up and kind of just eager to crush it every single day. 4, work events outside daily commitments. That's going to go kind of hand in hand with sharing meals. They're kind of the same thing, but this one in particular, I know for a fact Kenny Mack in Clemson loves to do basketball tournaments with his teams. I know that they love to go have lunches together as well, so work events. I previously touched on the fact that I like to take my team to David Buster's. We had so much fun. We would do this on a regular basis. These guys would go in competitions with each other, and the winning prize would be certain individuals would get certain cash to spend at David Buster's or things like that. So work events all around are just so much fun because the people we work with are super cool, and it's a really good time to kind of hang out with each other. Team building activities is number 5. Team building activities. These are going to be activities that your manager will put in place. I would do team building activities every single day before our meetings. These can be fun games. We have a Nintendo system in our San Antonio office, and we would play Nintendo and have Nintendo competitions before we would start our meetings. They really got heated. I loved it. We also had an air hockey table, and we would do air hockey table competitions as well. We also had a dartboard. So we would just constantly be just having fun playing around in the office. Those are actually team building activities because you're working with each other outside of being in your area and things like that. So team building activities are a great way to have fun. These are implemented by your manager. So look forward to all of these, right? Lastly, company trips. This is by far the most memorable experiences for myself within this company in the last 4 years. My favorite trip that we ever did was to Breckenridge, Colorado, where we flew out our Clemson and San Antonio teams, and we spent 4 or 5 days on a peak in Breckenridge, Colorado. It snowed. We had a blast. This was a beautiful house. It was just an incredible experience to share with our closest teammates, and this is a great way to have fun. Now, these company trips are typically competition based. You have to hit a certain goal to get to these trips, and our team in San Antonio hit 20 sales within a month period. So that allowed us to book these events. 10 out of 10 recommend. So much fun. And with each team, these can be different. I know a couple years back they did a cruise to Mexico. So it could definitely be water based, it can be snow based, right? But it's so much fun to have these activities with your team. And it's one of the ways that we implement fun on a day to day basis. Next, focused. Remaining focused every single day is probably going to be the hardest aspect for some individuals because of the flexibility that we have. You're not constantly being monitored with somebody over your shoulder as if you were in an office, right? You have the flexibility to live your life. So it's extremely important to remain focused because if you're not focused, you're not going to hit your goals. Let's touch on these 3 points. Now, like I said, there's going to be more than these 3 points. There could be 10 ways in which we could remain focused, right? I'm sure you guys could come up with some on your own. These are just 3 main points that we highlight that guarantee success, okay? So 15 to 20 full pitches a day. "15 to 20 full pitches a day." First of all, full pitches is one of our vocabulary words. So if you, or our daily terminology, shall we say. So if you are curious as to what full pitches are and you haven't dived into that concept just quite yet, feel free to scroll down to our terminology page that will break down what a full pitch is. I'll briefly touch on it here, but if you'd like expansion, please just scroll down to the terminology portion of this training video. So 15 to 20 full pitches a day. This means that we have talked to 15 or 20 people a day. Full pitch means that we've gotten to the point in our script where it says what time works best for you today or tomorrow, 5 or 6, right? We always want to do an A-B option to keep it simple for the individual on the receiving end. But 15 to 20 full pitches a day is a great goal to set every single day, so that way you hit your goals, you stay focused, things like that. 2, limited appropriate bathroom breaks. I'm going to just say proper time management for this, okay? Because of the sheer flexibility of this job, it is very easy to say midday peak hours, I'm going to go to the gas station, grab myself a snack and a water, and go use the restroom. It is very easy to say, I'm going to take an hour break and go run errands. That is not the way to be successful on a day-to-day basis. You would not be able to do that in any regular job. Just because this one is flexible does not mean it allows for those type of behaviors. Proper time management means, okay, if I start my shift today at 12, I need to go take care of my car before 12. Proper time management means if I'm starting my shift at 12, I'm going to make sure that I've had a good lunch, I have water ready, things like that, so that way when it comes time to actually work, you've got all your ducks in a row. This job is a 5-hour minimum work day. That means that you've got the mornings, all the mornings, to kind of get your ducks ready, run your errands, eat your lunches, get yourself mentally prepared, do anything that you need to, but make sure you do it when it's not time for being at your area. And lastly is, one moment here, my computer just turned off on me. Lastly, sticking to 2 to 3 areas a day. And this goes back into proper time management. It will not be efficient for you or any of your teammates if you are constantly bopping around areas and driving. That is a waste of time. You have 5 hours of canvassing at minimum a day. If you're driving around for 2 or 3 of those, you're not going to see the success of 15 to 20 full pitches a day because you spent the time driving, right? So the way that we can avoid this is by looking at our areas ahead of time. And what do you mean by areas? Well, let's take a couple minutes right now to pull out our phones, pull out whatever app that works for you. I use just the maps on my already provided iPhone. You can use Google Maps, whatever, what your Android has, doesn't matter. Pull up your maps right now. It's going to obviously drop a location of where you're at right now. I take a zoom out of that location. I do the satellite image so that way I can see the roofs. And what you do is just go through areas by your home or where you would like to canvas that have minimum tree exposure. That means that you can see their roof and it's not covered by trees. This means that they have good UV exposure, right? So we're looking for good roofs, simple roofs, things like that. But as you zoom out, you'll be able to see pockets of neighborhoods. Take a screenshot of that. Save it for later. I have a whole saved photos file of designated areas that I'd like to hit at one point or time. This allows you to be prepared just in case an area is dry or full of renters. You can quickly adjust areas instead of just driving around and not searching ahead of time, okay? So 2 to 3 areas a day. Do your due diligence and get these ready beforehand. Full schedule. This is the last one. This is the simplest of them all. 5 hours minimum a day. And we just talked about this. Because this job is so flexible, you can choose your 5 hours whenever you'd like. Now, we know that peak hours are between 4 and 7. So I would not suggest doing 9 a.m. shift to 5 hours after that. I just wouldn't suggest it because I don't think you will see a lot of success. Most people are not home during this time. Yes, it's still COVID, and yes, people still work from home, but a lot of people have actually done a hybrid where they go into the office and they come home, whatever. We know from past experiences that peak hours are between 4 and 7. Make a note on that on your full schedule if you'd like, if you have not already done so. These are peak hours. I highly suggest doing your 5 hours during the evenings. This is a way that we see success. This will conclude our first lesson on culture. Great job, you guys.